Hi everyone, welcome to the last word. This is your wrap up of all of the videos from today after Newcastle have went down to a 2-0 lackluster performance against Arsenal. I'm joined by a big friend of the channel, Mr. Clinton Ford, Roots TV. How are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. Don't worry, I'm waiting for the little jabs. I'm waiting for it's the Clinton Ford derby. Yes, I'm waiting for all that sort of stuff to come. But yeah, apart from that, I'm good.
I don't know whether it's Brentford or it's Arsenal or QPR. You've got that many clubs you can choose from London. But this is the last word. Obviously, we'll dissect the game. I've got 40 with us to go through that. We'll have a look at the lineup first. Got reaction from Carl a little bit later. We'll just have a little look at the league table. We might discuss the riots, might not, with Man United and Liverpool. But 40 will begin then. We'll go with the Arsenal side. Obviously, there's a lot of changes that were made from Villarreal. And you've seen the likes of Ryan. Very surprised to see him coming. Bellerin, Luiz, Xhaka continuing at left back. You've seen Elneny, Willian, Martinelli, Aubameyang. There's a lot of changes from their game, which it's not a huge surprise because the Villarreal one is a bigger game for them.
Yeah, definitely, it's the bigger game for them. Look, I don't know if to take it as a disrespect to us or not, but the fact that they can put Xhaka at left back and make all these changes, Matt Ryan in goal, just shows A, obviously the strength and depth that they got, and B, the priorities in terms of the Villarreal game over this one against us. I mean, going into this game, history just repeated itself once again. We always tend to lose to Arsenal, so they probably thought, we could play some of the oldies and still get the same result. So it doesn't really matter who they put in an Arsenal jersey; they're still going to win anyway.
Yeah, there's still quality players coming in like Martinelli and Aubameyang, for God's sake. I know he's not the same player as last season, but they can bring in that. If we change our side, we've got Joe Linton coming in or Gale coming in replacing Wilson. It's not quite the same. But what did you make of Newcastle's lineup with just the one changed, Wilson in for Joe Linton?
Listen, we could do another video all together just on Bruce's lineups, and we could be here all day. But it's looked predictable that we was gonna go with the same sort of lineup anyway. Bruce is one of those ones where if it's not broken, don't try and fix it. Even if we are playing different teams with different formations and different philosophies, so it made sense in a way that he was going to go with Wilson over Joe Linton. Funny enough, this is probably like the only time people wouldn't mind seeing Joe Linton in for Wilson, because Joe Linton's actually been in half decent form. I mean, for Joe Linton standards anyway. And arguably our best player is there sitting on the bench because he doesn't actually belong to us in Joe Willock. So yeah, this is the best formation and the best team that we're just going to put out there against an Arsenal side.
Do you think Almiron's suffering in this? We'll get on the game in a minute, but do you think Almiron's suffering a little bit in this? Because obviously you've criticised him in the past, rightly so, and he seems better for me out on the wing or on the number 10. But in this centre midfield role, he's got nothing. He's not doing anything at the team. He runs.
It's just not working again. It's back to Bruce with his square pegs and round holes, so to speak. Do you know what I mean? He's just putting players just in places just for the sake of filling up numbers. And I feel like when I knew that was coming. funny. It's just like, as I said, square pegs and round holes. When we've got players that can actually play in these positions, it's baffling to the mind. I mean, we'll probably get into it in a bit, but when you've got the likes of the Longstaff brothers who can play centrally, obviously Willock couldn't play today against his parent club, but when we're seeing this all the time, it's just baffling to the mind where we're taking one of our better players and then moving him from his prime position to then shoehorn someone else in. It doesn't make sense. So I don't know. It's baffling.
I was also saying earlier on in one of the earlier videos, I don't think ASM and Wilson work together well. This is the first time they've started for a long time. Wilson wants to be fed. He wants crosses in the box. He wants to be passed into. ASM's got different ideas where he wants to go past 2-3 players and just fly past people. So I just don't think those two work personally. But we'll get on at the game. Let us know in the comments. Please get your comments and smash the like button. That would be marvelous. Right.
How many
okay.
For today, Lee, by the way. Just
say again.
How many likes are you going for today?
I don't know. Help us out. Give us a number. 100, 150, 200.
Yeah, let's make it at least 150. Come on, guys. 150.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Right. Another disaster start, similar to like last week We're 1-0 down straight away. Dubravka's got to be saving that, surely.
Yeah, you would like to think so. Listen, it shouldn't even be going that far anyway. I mean, the cross into the box should have been cut out ages ago. But again, when it falls to Elneny of all people, you're thinking, come on, guys.
We were slating him in the lineups as well, and it's backfired.
There you go. See, you're taking my tactic now. But I think the goal shouldn't even fell to Elneny, let alone him having all that time to slice it in. And obviously Dubravka, could he made more of it? Probably, but at the same time, Dubravka's got plenty of get out of jail cards that he's used with us. So it's one of them where we're 1-0 down within 5 minutes. It's a regular story with Newcastle as well. We don't really tend to start that well, especially against the big teams. And it's same old story as well. 1-0 to the Arsenal.
Yeah, we always seem to get late goals. Obviously, today that didn't take effect. But in that first half, we didn't really create anything except from ASM when he went on that mazy run and it was deflected and Ryan tipped it over the bar. But to be honest, Fordy, we didn't even test him. We've got a reserve goalkeeper coming in, and that was the only chance that we had in the full 90 minutes, man.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that. But yeah, with ASM now, whether it's Wilson up top or Joe Linton up top, he feels like he needs to take on the baton. And sometimes I just feel like, do we deserve him? In the sense of, there's no one playing to his wavelength. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no one that you can say, okay, let's do 1-2s together, or let's work together to get us higher up the pitch. It's almost like it's the ASM show or nothing. And it shouldn't be like that. It's exciting for us, but at the same time, it's just like, who can play alongside him? And I keep saying it all the time. Let's just enjoy him while he's here, because again, we haven't had a player like that for a long while. And again, if he's not in the side, then what do we have? We don't have someone who's going to go directly forward and get at people. Miguel Almiron does it every now and then, but again, as I said before, he just goes missing sometimes. And
that's the problem that we've got in this wing back system. You kind of put ASM out wide because you're playing narrow, because you're allowing Richie and Murphy to try and bomb on. They've got to play narrow, so you have to change the formation. I think Wilson works better with Almiron, because Almiron will feed him a lot more than ASM will. ASM wants to go for glory. That's not too bad. Sometimes he's a match winner, and he is wonderful on his day. I wanted to highlight this bit is because Xhaka was booked in the first half and he's playing out of position at left back, gets a booking. He clatters Sean Longstaff in the second half and probably should have went. But do you feel we tested him enough today?
Not at all. Not at all. As I said, like, the best chance we just spoke about was ASM, and that's directly down the middle. With teams, and this is again going back to Bruce tactics, shock. We need to kind of look at the team that we're facing and think, hold on, how can we get at their weakness? Their weakness is they're playing a central defensive midfielder at left back, not his natural position. So why are we not doubling up on that side, on that area, to make the most of it? Because I'm sure they would have done it to us. I'm sure they probably would have looked at, okay, Paul Dumpett's not that quick. Okay, let's shuffle over that side and work on that side. And obviously that's where the first goal came from. So again, it's just down to that tactical awareness, thinking, okay, that's their weakness. That's how we're going to work on it. And like you said, we didn't work on Xhaka enough. And he probably had an easy day. Probably the easiest day in an Arsenal show. He didn't have to earn his money.
Agree. Murphy should be Adam. ASM going over Almiron. Anybody with pace, because you've seen it. You got away with it, not getting that yellow card, and that could have been targeted for me. But we ended the first half only 1-0 down. I say that only because we had the one chance. But Arsenal could have quite easily gone 2 or 3s, and again, quite similar to Liverpool, poor finishing. We're 1-0 down. You think they sell right, 40? We're 1-0 down. The players are going to get a kick up the arse. They're going to come back out second half. They're going to show a different character. They're going to show a bit of fight. It was now again. It was exactly the same as the first half. It was too easy for Arsenal. There wasn't enough pressing, and they were just passing it around, and they were poor in finishing, yes, but where was the fight? Were they on holiday?
Just flat again, Lee. I mean, look, we did this last year. We've probably done it the season before. Once we get to that magic total number, whether it be 40 points or 38, that's it. We're on our jollies. We're on our jollies. I think it might have been last season when we got to the magic total number, and I think we played Man City and we got absolutely spanked. I was like, it doesn't matter. We're not fighting for anything. We're safe, and that's it. that's what we've all got to look forward to. It's not like, oh, big game against Arsenal, we've got a point to prove. Yes, there's no medals or trophies at stake, but it's a chance to have a big scalp and, you know, say something memorable for the season. But, you know, we just kind of pull our pants down and say, here you go, you know, spank us if you like. You know what I mean? It's just that point of view is where we've already got that beaten mentality before we've actually walked out onto the pitch. And it's just baffling, man.
I was saying there then, so Arsenal were creating chances, and as soon as they scored the second goal, it was game over, and it was. And Aubameyang loves a goal against us, and Newcastle's defence are all over the place here. The ball goes out wide. Murphy's too narrow. The cross comes in. It's a great cross by Martinelli. Clark, who I feel Clark has been shocking the last few weeks. His form's been very, very off, unlike him. Dummett can't even see the run. Aubameyang, great finish. 2-0, game over, but it could have been stopped 40.
Just like all goals against us, man, it can all be stopped. But again, we're just making it so easy for us. I mean, look at the back line we've got. As you said, Kieran Clark's off the ball right now. Paul Dummett's never been the quickest of defenders. So Aubameyang gets in there. It's flipping food and drink to him. Do you know what I mean? It's just so easy. And yeah, I don't even remember him doing much apart from scoring the goal. Obviously, he's got on the score sheet, but he wasn't a terror. He wasn't a menace. He wasn't a threat like that. It wasn't like, oh God, glad to see the back of him. I don't even think, to be honest, Lee, and you probably could back me up in this, I don't think Arsenal even got out second gear. Did they really have to really make it like a statement? Like, they didn't have to go out there and like, oh, that was a battle today. Like, I can't even think, honest to God, as a Newcastle fan, I don't think any of them walked off the pitch like, yo, we went through a battle today. You know, head sweating the lot. No, they just thought, oh no, just a kick around. Oh, what, 3 points are at stake? Oh, okay, cool. See you later. Oh, you're right, Joe. How you doing? That's it. It's just.
It did. It felt like it was a pre-season friendly. It was just, you were going for the motions, but just get through 90 minutes. Yeah, the game's done. But with the substitutions with Bruce, do you feel that they should have been made earlier? Because I think the first one was in the 72nd minute, was a double substitutions. I know the bench isn't as strong because you've got Wilson starting and you've got Willock. Well, he's not suspended. He can't play against his parent club. Maybe, I mean, you look at it and you think, let's make some changes. Let's do it earlier, because he has been doing that the last few games, making it just after the hour mark. And this was 12, 30 minutes later than normal. Do you question his substitutions today?
I question his substitutions today, last weekend, the weekend before that, from when he got here. I question how he's even here still.
I think reality.
Well, I question it all, but yeah, look, it's the same old story, Lee. Like, we always talk about this all the time, and it's just like, why do we do it all the time? Why, or not we? Why does Bruce do it all the time? Why does he leave substitutions so late? Why does he put square pegs around holes? Why does he make it so hard for us to have a decent game? Do you know what I mean? We've not got the best of squads in the Premier League, clearly. We've got a decent 11, I think, but off the bench, like, you've got to work with what we've given. Again, if we go back to, in fact, I'm not going to mention the R word because, you know, we'll be here all day, but at least previous managers have worked with what they've got. Do you know what I mean? Steve Bruce has probably got one of the better squad, probably the best squad, I reckon, since Alan Pardew's. I would say. Yeah. And again, like, you've got decent substitutions to come off the bench, half decent strikers to come off the bench, decent midfielders, but we're not utilising them right. And we're not quick enough to identify when these changes need to be made. So, yeah, same old story of Bruce, man.
Speaking of changes, Fabian Schar. He's been out injured. He's missed 10, 11 games, whatever it was. What's he thinking? It's Mike Dean refereeing, and you're going in behind. Some people are saying it's not a red. Some people are saying it's he stood for show and what have you. But the game's gone soft. When we were watching it, you could do that, and that wouldn't even be a yellow card back in our mid-90s, late 90s. But you're going through, you're sitting someone. It's stupidity, isn't it? And now he'll miss 3 games.
Yeah, listen, it's frustration's got the better of him. I still don't think we've seen the best in Schar in a long while. Whether he wants to go or whether he's had a bust up with Bruce or whatever. I know there was a period of time when he wasn't playing at all, even before the injuries and stuff. But to do that, you know, as I said, frustration's got the better of him. He's lashed out. It wasn't even like he's through on goal, so to speak, and we've been trying to hold on for a draw. We're 2-0 down. The game has gone, long gone.
Yeah.
5 minutes to go, and you're making stupid challenges like that. I don't even think it needed to go to VAR. I was like, oh, just get rid of him. Just go. And that just summed up the day in total.
Stupidity. I called him a C word on the instant reaction because he was a cunt. I'll say it. He was an absolute twat for doing that, and he's experienced and he's got loads of international caps for Switzerland and just fancy holiday. I'll have 3 games off. Yeah, I'll put my feet up, collect a bit of this.
Well, I mean, they're all taking holidays today, whether they're playing or they're actually not playing. They all seem to be lounging around doing not a lot, really. The other 2 in the back line weren't doing much either. It's no shot that we're actually linked with central defenders. Whether we'll get them or not is another thing. But
we'll come to the league table. I want to ask you a couple of questions around that in a second because I'm still not 100% certain that it's done just yet. One more point, I think. Some people are saying we're safe. We will come back to that, but we do have a clip from Carl.
Oh my word! What a load of shit! Apologies. But it was though, wasn't it? Like, today was a free hit to go out there, attack Arsenal, hopefully try and get something out of the game. If we got rolled over by going out and attacking them, fair enough. But don't just lie down, arse in the air, letting them go fucking hammer and tongue on you. Against an Arsenal side that is probably the worst Arsenal side there has been in a long time. Mikel Arteta isn't getting a tune out of them. They're not the most passionate of players. Then you haven't got your Patrick Vieiras, your Thierry Henrys, your Freddie Ljungbergs. You haven't got those, but your Tony Adams, your Sol Campbell, those players that put their heads on the line. You haven't got that. We definitely fucking haven't got that. But we've got more than what Arsenal have got, and we just sat back and just let them do what they wanted today. So frustrating. Like, we could have cemented safety today. We really could have. I know it's already difficult for Fulham to catch us, and I don't think they will. I do still think we're safe, but we could have pretty much cemented it today. I wasn't unhappy with the lineup. I just feel like the players, like you've asked me, Lee, I think, they were on holiday, that they feel safe. Steve Bruce probably feels they're safe. Although I do genuinely think he'll be disappointed with how the players performed today. I certainly feel we're safe. I know the majority of Newcastle fans TV, I would say, think we're safe. And all the guys from the watch along that we engage with, I know you think we're safe. It's just frustrating, isn't it? Like, it was just piss poor to watch. Nobody turned up. Dubravka could have done better with the first goal. Arguably could have done better with both, to be honest. But it is what it is. Defensively, we definitely could have done better with both. And we've let a subpar Arsenal side beat us 2-0, but look like world beaters are doing it, and they're definitely not that. Oh, look, it's frustrating. Week after week, we sometimes turn around and say these teams were there for the taking, but they were. They're shit. I know we are, but Jesus, frustrating. But yeah, I absolutely think we're safe. I think we'll be here in the Premier League doing exactly the same thing next season, because I do think Steve Bruce will still be at the helm. On to Leicester on Friday night. Don't get me started on Man United fans.
Yeah, Man United fans. I'm sure we'll briefly touch on that at the end. So, Fordy, question for you then. How many points will we get from Leicester and Man City?
Okay. Do you want the real answer or do you want the made-up answer?
I want your real answer.
No, it's probably 0. No, I'll tell you that. Okay. Probably 1.
One if lucky. Right, okay.
A draw against Leicester, somehow, some way. Kelechi Iheanacho is in the form of his life right now, but somehow, some way, I think we might get a draw. But nothing against Manchester City. We might as well just wave the white flag right now and just say, you know what, we'll miss that one. You know
even the kids will hammer with. But the reason why I ask you that question, because Fulham's next 2 fixtures are against Burnley and Southampton. How many points could Fulham potentially get there? See where I'm going here, don't you?
I see where you're going with this, but you know what? I still think we've got enough to stay up. Remember our previous chat? I was saying a lot of stuff about hoping us to go down. I still do. I still kind of do, but I think we've actually got enough to stay up. But yeah, I don't. listen, I think we're in a position now where we don't need to kind of watch Fulham too much. We're in the driving seat now. It would have to be a monumental effort for us to now get relegated off the back of this. Like, look, as you can see, 9 points with, you know, not that many games to go.
I think it'll be squeaky. The reason why I ask you those questions, because there'll be squeaky bum times where we lose the next 2 and Fulham pick up 4 points, for example. It
would have to be the Newcastle of the Newcastle performances to then mess this up. Like, it would be like DVD BAFTA award-winning effort worthy just to see us mess this up in this position. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know we've messed up title challenges, but to get relegated when we're 9 points clear with not that many games to go, wow. I would definitely just leave Newcastle. I'm sorry. I would definitely support someone else. I'll probably support Fulham, I'm not going to lie.
another London club that you'll support.
But listen, I would just like, you know what, here you go. Same colours, so to speak. So there you go. Black and white, there you go. Forget about it. Newcastle who? Sorry. But now we'll be all right. We'll be all right.
I think one more point. I've said that before the Arsenal game. One more. I think that'll be it. I think that'll be me pretty comfortable. But just before we wrap up, then you obviously seen the scenes with Man United, Liverpool. Everyone's talking about it. It's everywhere. What's your take on the fans jumping into the stadium? And there's been a little bit of damage, but they're clearly unhappy about the ESL and the money grabbing and the Glazers and what have you. What's your take on that?
Well, yeah, there's clearly been some damage. There's been some injuries as well. I've seen on Twitter just a couple of minutes ago, in fact. So, yeah, look, we're a fine one to talk about protests. We don't do protests well at all, in my opinion, in comparison to, you know, the likes of West Ham, compared to Arsenal, and obviously now Manchester United as well. So we are like the B-Tech of protesters. We don't do protests at all well. So to see Manchester United fans storm the stadium, look, if they manage to get in, fair play. It's now managed to flipping, you know, delay a game. We can't do that. Maybe we should be taking notes on, you know, doing this to Mike Ashley. I'm not saying anyone to beat him up, by the way, so don't clip this up or good mad. But maybe we should take notes in that sense. But look, football fans are all passionate in different ways about different things. We all were very passionate and united together about this whole ESL thing, which got kibosh straight away. Boom. I would just like to see that same energy, you know, shifted across to other things within football, you know, whether it be racism in football, whether it be, you know, hate in football altogether. But if they want to do it, they do it. It's up to them. Let them worry about their stuff. We got to worry about just staying in the Premier League, let alone what they're doing.
Yes, and obviously you've seen Fordy earlier on this week in our documentary about obviously social media boycotting, which a lot of media organisations have been involved in this weekend. He's also part of Roots TV. Lift your t-shirt up so everyone can see the logo. They are on Instagram where they heavily promote that. He's obviously in the YouTube world as well, trying to get Fordy to come up to the Northeast, do some more filming. As well, and he's also got his own Newcastle one, which is called Jodie's Dance Surf. As ever, Fordy, thank you very much for popping on.
Appreciate it anytime, man. It's always good to talk with you as well, man.
Cheers, mate. And we will be back with you in a couple of days with another video here on Newcastle Fans TV. Ta-ra, everyone.